Hello everyone. Today we'll be creating a recipe roulette. Basically, it's the project on Dropdown. So it's a very simple project. I'll explain in simple words. There will be a button. On click of that button, the option in the Dropdown will appear. On click of particular option, the content of that particular option has to appear just below the button. So this is very simple project. Let's start by creating the HTML and CSS file. Let me create index.html. Sorry, just rename. Also style.css. The HTML file, what I'll do, I'll just create the basic HTML template. I'll just change the name to recipe roulette. So also I'll just write Dropdown project and set the braces. So one thing, let's start writing the HTML code. Initially what I'll do, I'll just take the h1 tag. I'll just name it as recipe roulette itself. One thing, then what we'll be doing, just considering one parent div. I'll considering the class. I'll just consider the class and give the class name as Dropdown. Next, inside the div, we'll be taking one button. I'll just give the class name as drop button, right? So we'll just be giving the name of the button as pin. One thing. Then what we'll be doing, we'll be creating one more div, and I'll just give the ID name my dropdown. Also, I'll be taking the class and I'll be giving the name dropdown content. So inside this, I'll just be taking four links, that is 4 anchor tags. I'll just write A into 4. So let's format it out once. So inside I'll just hold the Alt and I'll click. I'll just give hash. So first one, I'll be taking Italian. Second one, I'll be taking Mexican. Basically the food names. And the third one, I'll be taking Indian. And the last one will be Japanese. So we can add more. Like you can add according to your preference. And after this, what we'll be doing is, I'll be taking one more div and I'll be giving the ID name recipe display. And also I'll be taking class and I'll be giving the name same thing, recipe display. And here I'll just mention hyphen. These two are different names. And this is it for the HTML. I'll just format it out. This is it for the HTML. What we have done is, we have just mentioned the project name initially, and we have taken the parent div inside one button, and we have given the button name as well as the class name. After that, we have taken one more div. Inside that, we have took 4 anchor tags, right? Along with the food names. One is Italian, Mexican, Indian, and Japanese. And finally, we have took one more div and we have mentioned the ID and class name. So this is it for the HTML. We'll just open the style.css. I'll not be explaining the CSS file. I mean the design part. I'll just be copy pasting this one. You can just pause the video and have a look into it. I'll explain what I have done. So basically here I have imported the Poppins font. In the body I am making use of the font family. Mainly the font I am making use of here is Poppins. This is one thing. And according to the HTML, like whatever I have written in HTML, I have designed the same thing. I mean, until content, you can just pause the video and look into it. Next, what we'll be doing is, let's check once. What I have done is, I have installed a extension called live server. What this does is, whatever changes we make in HTML, it will directly get reflected in the browser. So it will be very helpful. You can install it as well. And what we have to do is, just have to right click and click on the open with live server. Let's wait for some time. So yeah. So initially it is like this. So style, I have not linked the style sheet. One sec. I just linked the style sheet and gave the path. So let's check again. So it looks like this now. So basically the name of the project, and on hover or on click, what we are getting is the drop down option, right? Italian, Mexican, Indian, and Japanese. By using JavaScript, what we have to do is, on click of this Italian, the content of the Italian has to appear just below the button. On click of the Mexican, the content of the Mexican has to appear just below this button. Same goes with Indian and Japanese. That we have to do with the JavaScript. For that, what we'll be doing, I'll just create index.js file, and I'll be including that one using the script tag in HTML. Just give index.js. So in the index.js, let's start writing the JavaScript code, right? Initially, what we'll be doing is, I'll just go to HTML. Sorry. So we had one button here. We'll just make use of on-click event, and I'll give the function name as toggle dropdown. I'll just copy this. We'll be making use of the function toggle dropdown. So first, what we'll be doing, I'll just make use of dropdown variable. We'll be making use of document dot get element by ID. So here I'll be making use of, one second, my dropdown. Just copy paste the same thing. So sorry, here it has to be E. And what we'll be doing here is, initially, if the display is block, will be showing none. Else, if the display is block, will be showing block itself. For that, we'll be making use of if condition, if dropdown dot style dot display equals block, right? We'll just set the dropdown dot style dot display to none, else dropdown style dot display, and just give it as block. So this is first thing. And second thing, what we have to do is, we have to add or attach event listeners to the drop down options, right? That we'll be doing. We'll just comment it out right and right. Add event listeners to drop down options. What we'll be doing, document dot query selector all. I'll just take drop down content, that is nothing but this one. Where is the drop down content? Yeah, this one, drop down content, and I'll next consider the links, right? The anchor tag. Drop down content and a anchor tag, and I'll be making use of for each. Just consider the item. What I'll be doing, I'll be attaching event listeners to the individual item, right? That's what I'll be doing. Add event listener. We'll be making use of click. So finally, we'll make use of display recipe. Where this display recipe is coming from as, one second. No, we are giving the display recipe, sorry. Display recipe of item dot text content. You can also make use of inner HTML. I'm just making use of text content here. So this is one thing. This is it. And next what we'll be doing, we will create a function to display the selected recipe, right? What we have to do is, on click of the particular option in the drop down, its content has to appear just below the button. So for that one, we'll be creating function to display the selected recipe. So I'll just comment it out and write function to display selected recipe. So for that one, I'll be making use of function to display recipe. It is nothing but this one. And recipe, I'll just take the recipe as parameter. I'll be taking the variable name recipe display. I'll be making use of document dot get element by ID and recipe display. Recipe display, where it is coming from? It is coming from here. This one, we'll just copy paste this one. Finally, we'll make use of the same recipe display dot inner HTML. So we'll be making use of template literals. I'll just give, you can give anything. I'll just give enjoy your. I'll just call a recipe dish. So what this does is, whenever I click on the option of the particular drop down, in the particular drop down menu, its content we are displaying. Whenever I click on the Italian, it has to show enjoy your Italian dish. If I click on the Indian, it has to show enjoy your Indian dish. When I click on the Mexican, it has to show enjoy your Mexican dish. Same goes with everything. So this is it for the JavaScript. Let me format it out once and let me go to index. Oh, I have misspelled here. I'll just add X. So what I'll be doing, I'll just be checking. One second. Yeah. On hover or on click, we are getting the drop down. While I click on the Italian, when you click again, it will go. And while I click on the Italian, we are getting enjoy your Italian dish. Same when I click on this one, where I click on the Mexican, I am getting enjoy your Mexican dish. When I click on Indian, the same, we are getting enjoy your Indian dish. Also when I am clicking on Japanese, I'm getting enjoy your Japanese dish. So everything is working perfect. So this is it, guys. So thanks for watching.